Hello, I'm Marshall Vladimir, and this is going to be the introduction for a solo game of Global War 1936, the four that I'm going to be playing. So, I'm going to be playing this with some house house rules. So the first is an expansion, which is the China at War expansion, and this was of my creation, and hopefully it does end up being implemented. But second is house ruled diplomacy system that is based on the diplomacy system for Global War 1914. I've been watching General Hand Grenade's series on it, and it's been really fun and very interesting. So it's rather like that. You've got the full stages. The one gives you this one. The first stage allows you to gain, in my version, allows you to gain movement bonus from ports, but not to go into port. Movement bonus from ports. The second stage allows you to collect an IPP and trade, and the third stage is territory access. So that you can't end your unit's movement there, but you could fly planes over or things like that. There are a couple of ways you can boost your, or you can, as in that you can, it, you succeed on a 3 to move it closer up your track, and a 2 to move it down on someone else's. You can also move it from one of your allies' tracks onto your own, as long as it's not on stage 4, and that also succeeds on a 3, but it's limited. So, for example, if Britain were to get Yugoslavia onto their track, it wouldn't go onto stage 2, it would go onto stage 1. Because in stage 3, it'd still go to stage 1. It always would go to stage 1 no matter what, so you don't always want to do that. So the way you get influence rolls is per 10 IPPs of income you have. So at the start of the game, Italy, Britain, and Germany are the only nations which can make influence rolls. Japan can't influence. That's just a restriction because it doesn't really make any sense. So you can't purchase them, and that's how you get them. You also get one extra influence roll per victory city you control. So Paris, that's not originally yours. So Paris, London, Calcutta, etc. Um, and you lose one diplomacy roll for every territory with an IPP value in your home country that is occupied by a foreign power. So once the Soviet Union is in the war and they get Barbarosa'd, they'll probably lose a fair bit of income, a fair bit of diplomacy rolls, so they won't give that many nations. I've also implemented a house rule system, minor powers, in the way that they purchase units. So if they're not at war, they get uh, and they're still controlled. So, for example, Siam at the start of the game by Japan or Mongolia, they get their influence roles on their home. They get their recruitment roles, sorry, by their home country. So Mongolia would still roll at a 4, Siam at a 1. If it were to be the Netherlands, they would roll at a 1, etc. But unlike that, if they're at war, they still get that, but they also can purchase one unit. So, for example, Republican Spain, who is at war, they're at war with national Spain, can purchase one militia every turn. They can only purchase one unit. If they had another territory with a value, then they could purchase an infantry, for example. So, if this were apply to Turkey, Turkey could, with their 3 IPP, they could purchase an infantry. If they had another IPP worth of territory, say they'd taken something, they could even purchase an artillery or something because they have a factory. They could also, you can also purchase an artillery or something from your controlling power. in a controlling powers factory, which is Lend-Lease to you. So that'll also be kind of fun to try out. So yeah, I'll see how this works. So as this was the intro, I'm going to roll for the random events and Germany's diplomacy roll in this introduction, and then I'll cut and update you sometime during the turn. I'm not entirely sure. So I'll start with the before war random event table for China. A 3. Nationalist loyalties. Nationalist sympathies results in one warlord joining the nationalist cause. Align one warlord to KMT. Choose from table 3, which is this. Now we roll a dice for KMT. This could be quite important. 5. Beiping. So that's the northern warlord. That's this warlord up here. So that's pretty huge. That moves them up 3 IPP to 9, which is pretty huge. So that's that. That'll have some pretty drastic effects in the game, I dare say. But Japan won't like that. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And then Germany's got 2 diplomacy rolls because they start from 20 IPP. So I'll just grab a d12 from this. And Germany's going to be rolling for Argentina and for Romania because they have a special ability. It's that they may forfeit their Paris roll. They roll from Paris if they control it to align one of these 3 nations if that nation is on the Axis track, which it isn't right now. It's on the French track. So I'll start with the roll for Argentina. Succeeds at a 3 or less. That's a 1, which is a success. Argentina moves down to stage 2 on the German track. Next, we'll roll for Romania, which is stage 1 on the French track. That's a 5, which is a fail. So Germany succeeded one of their influence. So that's cool. So yeah, I'll update you sometime later in the year. Not entirely sure when. So